Hi folks, and welcome back to Lotus Technical Talk. I had a request from one of the viewers to make a video on the manual brake adjustment. And this is what this video is all about. We'll have a little bit of technical talk, and then we get dirty and we look at the cabling system on the car, and we'll replace it and we will adjust it. So just bear with me for a few minutes. As always, we'll start off with some technical talk on how that mechanism is working. So, the manual brake system on a Lotus Elise is a fully manual mechanical system. It does not require any hydraulics whatsoever. It consists basically of a manual lever in the cockpit, the manual brake, which is attached at the bottom through a primary steel cable, the primary brake cable, connected to the manual brake lever in the cockpit and goes all the way back to the end of the car, where attached to what we call the horseshoe. And the horseshoe is a part of the secondary brake cable. And I have one here, and this is basically the horseshoe, as you can see, and it has its name because of its shape. And the horseshoe is a piece of metal which is fixed on the secondary brake cable, which I have here. And on the horseshoe you'll find this little hole, and that's the hole where the primary brake cable is attached to with a pin. Here you see the connection between the primary brake cable on the left attached to the horseshoe, and then the secondary brake cable. The secondary manual brake cable spans between the two rear calipers, and it's attached to a lever on each of the calipers. It's fully mechanical and fully self-adjusting. And this is the rear brake caliper, and attached to that one is the secondary brake cable. And this is the lever which is activating the mechanical system inside and is pushing forward the piston towards the brake disc. And here you have the two outer ends, as you can see, and I'm just going to show you one now. So this is one side which is connected to the left rear brake caliper, and the other side of the cable connects to the right hand side. The principle of operation is very simple. If you activate the manual brake in the cockpit, basically pulling it up, then the primary cable is pulled forward. If the primary cable is pulled forward, then the horseshoe basically is pulled forward as well, and then the cable, the secondary cable, is getting shorter, like so, and then the cable moves in. See? And if that cable is being pulled in, then obviously the lever on the brake caliper is being pulled upwards and or activated, and then it pushes the brake caliper forward against the brake disc. And this is how it works. This is the lever where the manual brake cable is attached to. And when activated, it pulls that lever downwards. I have pushed back the pistons, as you can see, so keep a close eye on this area here. I have removed the brake pad so you can actually see what happens. So let me try to activate the brake. So I'm going to push it down and watch the piston going forward. See that piston going forward? And that's the automatic adjustment of the system. So now let's assume the brake pads are where they are. I mean, kind of worn out. So next time you pull that, it's going to move that piston even a bit more forward. Now, there is one other aspect of the secondary brake cable, which are the connecting ends. And these are the sides that are connecting to the chassis. And as you can see, this is a long threaded part, whereas this one is a short threaded part. Now, the short threaded part is the part which is fitted to the left-hand side of the car, and it's just there to hold the cable in place on the chassis. The long threaded one, and I'll try to show them both to you. The long threaded one, this thing is playing with me. So the long threaded one is on the right-hand side of the car, and the reason that it is longer is that you have to make the adjustments for the slack of the cable. And you do this by adjusting these nuts once it's in place. So this is a very simple system. You don't need to do anything else. The brake calipers by themselves are self-adjusting. That means that you don't need to do any adjustment when the brake pads are being worn or the disc is being worn. It is fully self-adjusting. That is also why if you replace the rear brake pads of your Lotus Elise, you can't push back the brake caliper manually. You have to actually to turn it back in with a special tool, and I have a video on that one on how to do that, and that's just because of the self-adjusting mechanism of the manual brake. So now that the piston is in its far out position, you can't really fit the brake pads in anymore, so you'll have to turn it back, and you need a special tool for that. And this is the tool I'm using. It's a homemade tool, but you can also buy it. If you want to know more about this tool and how to put the piston back, you can watch my video on the brake pad replacement. Nevertheless, I'm going to show it you once again. So first we'll remove the clamp. And here you have the piston I was referring to. So the only way to push it back is by turning it. You can't push it, so you really need to turn it. So you put the tool in, use a key, and then just turn it all the way to the bottom, and then you're ready to fit the brake pads in. Very simple. So now let's get dirty and let's get into the car and have a look on how it looks like on the car and how we replace the cable and how we do the adjustment. It's not always that wear and tear is not always that obvious, but if you take a closer look, then you will see what I mean. If you look at this cable here, you see how it's corroded. This is the connection point of the secondary cable on the chassis. There's quite some corrosion on it. Before removing the secondary brake cable from the rear caliper, you have to undo the attachment of the cable on the rear wishbone. So here you have the horseshoe, the secondary brake cable, the horseshoe, and this is the primary brake cable which is attached to the horseshoe. So you really need to undo this little pin here and then pull it out like so. Here's the pin, and then normally the overall pin should come out like this. So this is the pin that's holding the primary brake cable to the horseshoe. And now it's kind of disconnected, as you can see. And finally we'll undo the secondary brake cable which is attached to the chassis. And as you can see, this one is pretty much corroded, so it's really time to change it. I will snap off this little rubber here. There we go. You need to move it off all the way to the end, because you need to put the cable through this little cut here. There we go. Once you remove the primary brake cable from the horseshoe, it becomes very easy to remove the secondary rear cable. Removing it at the rear calipers, all it takes is a good set of pliers, and you can actually pull it out like so and move it around, and then you can actually pull the whole cable out of it. And now you're basically ready to pull back the cable. So here it is, the old cable, and as you can see, pretty badly corroded, especially these sides, and even the ends are kind of really bad, so it was more than time to replace it. And this is typical for those cables because some water gets in, and then it gets trapped, and then it corrodes. And as you can see, this is real bad. There you go. See how bad it is? It's really ripped apart, all rotten away. So this was more than time to change the cable.